Thank you very much. So I'll directly start. And so Vinod sir, just want to start with your journey. And today what I have thought that I create content in Marathi with, I all doing this in English with Vinod sir here. But what I spoke to him that I want to focus more on the mindset. No gyan, nothing, just mindset. What is an entrepreneur mindset to scale? And none other than Vinod sir. So I want to start in that mindset as a young Vinod Jadhav, not today, not with your Rolls Royce and all, but as a young Vinod Jadhav. When did you start the journey in Pune and what was going in your mind that time?
See, as a young Vinod Jadhav, coming from a middle class family in Maharashtra, our only vision, our dream is to survive in life. You live to survive. Your typical formula is you want to have a good education, either as an engineer or a doctor, go to COAP or BJ Medical College, complete your education, maybe join Tata Motors if you are very lucky, or Bajaj Tempo if you are not so lucky. And then you...
It's on record, sir.
And then you retire and you ultimately die. And that's how the life is, correct? We don't think really beyond that. But as you start growing and you start thinking about why you are there, what is the purpose of life, that's when the vision starts developing at some point of time. And that's when you start thinking about what is next. So for me, when I started my career at the age of 18, after completing my diploma in mechanical engineering, when I joined L&T, there everybody used to tell me that if you are a diploma holder, you can never become a manager in L&T. Or it will take 20 years, 30 years for you to become a manager. And I used to feel we can't live a life like this with limitation. And that is when I started going into deep and details of everything and started learning more and more things. When I was in sales, I used to go about learning about taxes and law. I went and joined a course on becoming a company secretary. When I started learning things like this, which were completely irrelevant for my engineering background. And many times people say, what is, you are lucky. Now, how do you define a luck? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So when you start learning and getting exposed to different things, then you start seeing opportunities.
Yeah.
And then you start developing your own ideas around.
So you did become manager?
Yeah.
You did become manager?
Yeah, so it was very interesting.
So we want to know that.
Yes.
You became manager then, right? And did you tell your friend that now I'm a manager? So in this talk you just said, and I want very honest answer, because your guru was here just 2 sessions back and he spoke about life and purpose, and you just said, I found my purpose. As a young Vinod Jadhav, does really purpose, was there a purpose at that time, or it was to do some or to earn money? What was your, what do you define purpose at that time?
So when I left my last job to start the business, I had read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it talks about the financial independence, how do you create stream of income, and you start with that. So when I left my last job, my salary was something like 70,000 rupees. So I calculated how much that would become in 40 years time. The figure was about 4 crore rupees, like $500,000 in today's dollars. And I said, if I have earned 4 crore rupees in my life, I think I have achieved my purpose of life.
So it is okay to have this purpose to achieve $1 million. Is that okay?
No, the thing is, it's always perspective, correct? When you start as somebody just to survive, you always think about survival.
Okay.
And you don't think beyond the survival. And when you started, what was your formula of success? Was to just survive till your retirement. Okay. And that is how you start. I don't think anybody starts with a real vision when you have nothing. So the formula was survival.
Perfect.
But once I achieved that, which I achieved in like probably third year of my business, accumulating this money, I said now this cannot be the purpose of life. That you keep accumulating money. There should be a larger purpose of life. And that is where I took this target that I will create employment for 10,000 people.
Wow.
This was in 2005 or 6.
So what I get is, it is okay to have a purpose which is money driven, but soon once you are matured in business and you start understanding life, then you can have a larger purpose. That's what can be done. So it's okay for some of us who has started with a purpose to earn money and now wants to do something, but it's okay for all of us. Thank you. So in the same journey, was there any moment where early in your life Vinod Jadhav thought, I should quit and this is not my cup of tea, and join the corporate again?
I will say I had quite a few failures. I jokingly say I also learned 100 different ways of losing money during my journey. But then when you have a larger purpose in life, many times that does not allow you to quit. So even if there are failures, you feel you still have a purpose and you should try by learning from those mistakes.
Wow. And now let's come to UAE, because we are here in Dubai. And why did you choose UAE and why not London or Singapore? Why UAE? Was it conscious decision? What was it?
So it was very interesting when my business was growing up, and this was year 2007, March. I had a unique problem. So when I started expanding my export business, I had opportunity of buying from one country and selling into a third country without goods reaching Indian borders. Now we have this law called Foreign Exchange Management Act, FEMA, which does not allow an Indian company to do third country export, or that process is very complicated. So you can't do that. So I said if I am an Indian company, I would be stuck doing business only in India and I have to be satisfied with what I can do sitting in India. So what could be the solution? The solution was Dubai for me, because one was, it was India outside India. Second was, it was a short flight. It was very easy to reach. It was a place which looked very familiar. And everything was easy in a way that, you know, whether it is capital controls, moving the goods or moving the money through the banks, everything was so convenient. And that's how I decided Dubai as a base.
And so one thing, when you started your business in Dubai, what is the one thing you will not do? You think that I made that mistake, which our entrepreneurs here should not do that mistake. What is the one thing? Anything which you think that, you know, I could have done this better when you came to Dubai? Yeah.
So one of the important things, and I think this is not when I started, but subsequent to that, the tax laws in India have become much harsher compared to those days. So I would always suggest everyone who wants to set up a India, UAE business connects to take a proper tax advice on matters specially related to dealing two companies which are related to each other, dealing with each other. How do you decide the pricing between the companies? So it is very important that you take a proper tax advice from a tax advisor when you create this connect between UAE and
Oh, that's very important. And I think, sir, you spoke to me when you said that, you know, sometimes when you want to learn any law, you used to read books, right? You used to bring books and read, but now it's easy for all of us because there's ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We can upload the PDF and ask the questions to it. So, but a great advice to don't ignore the tax aspect of it. And so we have entrepreneurs here coming from Maharashtra, Nasik, Kolhapur, Sangli, Pune, Mumbai. So many a times there is a question in their mind that I have studied in Marathi medium, I don't know English, okay, how I can survive globally. So what is your view on that?
I think I studied in Marathi medium school, so I don't think that is a constraint. And especially in a new era of AI, now I think the language barriers are completely collapsing. Even if you don't know the language, it is very easy to communicate with anyone because you can translate anything very effectively of whatever you write. So I think this is probably the best era for people who can't speak in English or who can't speak in foreign language. Like nowadays, I send a mail to a Japanese person in Japanese, and completely without doing the dual language thing. I write to him in Japanese, he writes to me in English, and we both use whatever AI tools we need to use. And it's become really easy now.
Wow. So I want to move further because you are an industrialist, right? And today a lot of buzz is going on AI, tech companies, digital companies. Yeah. And what I have known that industrialists think long term. They don't think short term, right? So how a tech company should learn from an industrialist to think long term?
See, I mean, I'm born in 72, so we are born in an era where black and white TV just came in, correct? So we saw an era wherein we started with black and white TV, then we went to color TV. When I joined L&T, I used to send quotations by telegram. And from telegram, we went to telex. From there, we went to fax. Then I used to have only an incoming pager. From pager, we went to mobile. From there, we went to BlackBerry. From there, we went to internet, smartphones, and we have come to AI. All this in last 30, 35 years. What has not changed is we are still using the razors. We are still using the Heinz ketchup. We are still using kerosene. None of them has changed. So there are certain industries which don't change. We are not going to love each other just because there is AI. We are not going to eat just because there is AI. There are so many industries which are sustainable, long-term. I feel there is a lot of industries beyond. Everybody gets confused as to what will going to happen with AI, but I think there are a lot of things which are required for human consumption, which are beyond technology, beyond AI. So I still feel there are a lot of opportunities outside of technology and AI.
Okay, and let's say you are in conversation with your son. You're sitting in Dubai, your son knows that my dad is an accomplished businessman, and now you want to advise him that start something new. Okay? What will you advise him?
I think starting anything new is, what is most important, I learned over a period of time, is that to be successful and different, you have to have a magic. And that when I say magic means something you can differentiate from market. If you can differentiate from market, you have an idea which is different from market, you have some cost advantage which is different from market, that is when business happens. So until the time you don't have that magic, do not start anything. Don't be in a hurry to start till you know what is your magic.
Okay, but I want little more detail. I'm acting as your son. But what industry? Should it be ID? Should it be manufacturing? Should it be manufacturing of a Colgate paste? What it should be? You are sitting in Dubai.
Of course, that depends on what is your core. Because I don't think there is a standard formula of what business I should do. What I should do is where I feel that I can add value. For example, if I'm in technology, the life cycle of technology is very different than making a drug, for example. Like for a drug to be, you start with development, by the time you go to the market, it is 5 years. Compare that now to a technology. You will have patch coming every quarter, and you will have new version coming every 2 quarters, and by 5th year probably the product is obsolete. So it's a very different life cycle which every industry goes through. So it all depends on where is, a lot of people come to me and ask about advice, and so I won't say that I have got all the wisdom in the world, but I'll say that whatever field you are in, if you can find you can find some niche in that field, then that becomes your business, and that should become your business.
Okay, and then let's take forward that conversation. And I have met you maybe 5-6 times and spent like hours with you. And I spoke to your family also. You are never in stress, right? So in life, means you have a lot of pressure, you have a lot of ups and downs, but you're always smiling, you're never angry. So what is the formula we all should take?
I think I was lucky to go to Marathi school. And
Wow, hey, clap hona chahiye.
so when I went to when I was in this social welfare hostel in Uruli Kanchan, we used to have one teacher just to teach us Bhagavad Gita. So all 3 years, and I had at least 4 of those adhyayas by heart over a period of time. One of the things we learned from Bhagavad Gita is क्या लेके आए थे, क्या लेके जाओगे. See, as long as you know consequence of something, you many times realize that you are getting stressed for trivial things. When you start realizing that the biggest, I always say that, I started with 4 lakh rupees as a capital way back in 2001. As long as I'm not reaching back to 4 lakh rupees, I'm okay.
Got it.
And that keeps me away from the stress.
But I'll still give credit to Marathi medium. So let's give credit to Marathi medium. So last couple of questions and then we'll have a rapid fire. When you were young and you were scaling up, what was your routine? We want to know routine, like you used to wake up early, stay late, 15 hours working, 20 hours working, 5 hours working. What was your routine?
You're talking about work-life balance? Are you talking about?
Yeah, but not now. I'm sure now you have got it. Before, like 10 years back.
I think when you are in the mission mode, you don't think much about time. You work almost 7 days a week. And if you see, nobody has created a revolution by working 9 to 5. So you read any of these biographies of any of the successful people. We have a lot of these biographies. Jeff Bezos, you look at Steve Jobs, you look at Elon Musk. All of them have worked crazy hours. And I also work crazy hours from morning to night. I used to be traveling almost for 4 or 5 months in a year while growing up. So I think there is, as far as the entrepreneur is concerned, there is nothing called work-life balance. He has to balance the life within the work. And
wow. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's about it.
So you are doing the same statement as Narayan Murthy, but very politely. Right?
No, I'm not
so we got
asking you to do
it.
that.
So we got it. It's not 9 to 5. It has to be at least 15 hours if you have to have a good business career. So one last question before we move to rapid fire. What is Vinod Jadhav's formula for the impact over image? So what's your formula? What we all should take from you?
I think impact is when you do something without expecting something out of it. Correct? Like today you listen to Swamiji.
Yeah.
And I remember my relationship for last 3 years. I never expected, of course, anything out of my relationship with him. But when he looked at this invite, he saw my name and he said, just because it is invitation from you, I'm coming for this function.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, that is what we do in life, correct? That what is it that we are touching, how we are touching the life of somebody else. Last 9 years, I've been doing this thing in Sassoon Hospital, wherein every year we take one ward there and we upgrade it. So we started with their dialysis ward and we install. So last year when I was there for inauguration of one of the pediatric center, the doctor, the child specialist there who was the head of the department, he told me that because of this, some 750 children got operated. The facility which was not available otherwise.
That's great.
And I feel that is what at the end creates your image. So impact is most important. Impact creates the image.
Wow, that's very important. Great. Okay, and he does lot of philanthropy things. This event itself, it was discussed just over coffee with him, Sachin sir, and he said, okay, I am part of it, right? So, and this is a big event. So, and we spoke a lot that you want to do, you want to work for Maharashtra entrepreneurs, how we can build entrepreneurs. So definitely, sir, we'll need your blessing. Let's start with rapid fire questions. The rule is if you can answer in one word or maximum 3-4 words.
Okay.
Right? Try. Okay. And I'm sure we know all this answer, but I'll still ask, profit or purpose?
Profit is a result of purpose.
Profit is, okay. Great. Yeah, actually, very good thing. I run schools in India, and the rule in the school is you have to educate the kids. That's why you open the school. Money will come. But if you open a school to earn money, it will not work.
It has to come with passion.
Yeah, great. Next startup, India or Dubai?
India is where the roots are, Dubai is where the wings are.
Wow, that's a super answer. One word to describe failure.
Good teacher.
Oh.
Failures are very good teachers.
And one word to describe success.
Success can be defined in many words, but I will say success is all about how many lives you touch in life.
Oh, okay. So your mission is 1 lakh employment.
10,000 so far, but
10,000.
yeah, hopefully 1 lakh.
Okay. A book every entrepreneur should read.
So there are quite a few books, and it depends on what aspect of entrepreneurship. But one book I recently liked was Outsiders.
Outsider.
Which talks about capital allocation.
Okay. Your advice to yourself, 25 years old.
Be patient.
Okay. Great. And last question. If you had to start from scratch today, what's the first thing you will do?
Read books.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. It was great conversing with you.
Wow, what a wonderful one-on-one and what answers. Very well. He truly is a genius. May we please give a huge round of applause to Vinod Jadhav, and look at the nice tricky questions as well. Kya baat hai. What a wonderful, interesting conversation we had with both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, may we please put our hands together.